Hello everybody, Ian Robson here, welcome back to Manchester. Alright, we got what's going on today. If you recall from the previous episode, we were working away on the fields. This field's been fully harvested and cultivated, and I believe it's been cultivated and plowed, yes. So what we need to do is we need to spray a little bit of PK down there, because what's happened is because of the way I left the game, I guess, and changed the maps and all that jazz, I ran into a little bit of a problem with the soil being slightly unbalanced at the moment. So what we're going to do is go ahead and spray with our Night Vista here, and we're going to increase the PK level, one can only hope at least, and we'll go from there. Look at that, perfect. So once that's fully out, let's go ahead and spray a little bit of PK. This is one of the weird things when you actually spray this. It may have already been sprayed, but I can't even tell if it has or not, actually. Which is probably not the best thing, but we'll see what happens. It's only a small field, so even if we did spray it already and it's done, it won't make a huge difference right now. Not yet, at least, so we'll see. We do have a high level of nitrogen, because that's of course from the liquid manure. Will do that. This should also increase the soil moisture level as well, which will be good for it, so we'll see how that goes. pH still looks good, which is excellent. Gotta love keeping the pH up. It's crazy how much your yield will actually be affected by pH. For those people who have played with the soil mod, you will have noticed a difference, I'm sure of it. Like if you for whatever reason forget, but if you don't adjust your pH levels, oh no, you can see it there, good. If you don't adjust your pH levels or try to keep them in appropriate, oh man, you'll see your yield just tank very quickly. So it's not a lot of fun when that happens. So we'll see how things play out. The other thing we need to do is right now I have in this field over here, you can see I have the combine working out there, and he's currently being unloaded, and I also have the Case Quad Track working out there. He's doing a little bit of plowing at the moment, turn the soil over. Very cool. Interesting news in the farm sim world. I guess it was last couple days. I'm not sure which day it was specifically, but one of these last couple days, the contest the mods from the mod contest on farm sim came out. So there's lots of new mods out, lots of interesting mods. Not necessarily all of them are game changing, but there are a few of them that are game changing, which is really nice. There are a couple that are game changing. There's a really nice baler that came out. Really? Come on now. There's a really nice baler that came out that's a crone baler. That's just fantastic. It's actually a round baler, and it will wrap at the same time, so it's actually I'm not sure you even call those things. It's just a baler, but it's a double baler. So basically you don't have to stop with it, which is really cool. So I'm looking forward to trying that out. Haven't had a chance to try it out yet, but it will be definitely interesting to see what's what and who's who sort of thing. I did notice that there were quite a few submissions for tractors as well. A couple smaller European-style tractors, which is interesting, and I also did see a few Massey Fergusons actually, which is going to be kind of cool. So for those people who like Massey Fergusons, I didn't see any John Deeres, which is interesting because usually you see at least one of some sorts, but this time around I didn't see any at least, so which is kind of cool and kind of not all at the same time. John Deere is usually overdone when it comes to mods, so it's good to see some variety. Massey Ferguson can be sometimes, but not as much. Perfect. There we go. It didn't take very long at all. I love this big 40-meter sprayer. It makes a world of difference. Excellent. So that probably won't change the levels quite yet, I don't suspect. We'll see. It should increase it by about, I think it's like 2 or 3 for PK. I don't remember off the top of my head, but I think that's the number it does. Excellent. Let's put this guy away. Actually, what we'll do real quickly is just drive over to their field here and just take a look, just to see if this will need a spray as well. I don't think it's as in dire need as the other ones, but let's just check real quick here. The joys of the soil mod. It probably could use a little bit of everything, looks like. And the soil moisture is 0. Or so they're telling me, at least. What we'll do is we'll wait for that case to finish up, and then we'll have to spray that a little bit with some NPK maybe or something. We'll see. Maybe actually water, based on what I'm seeing, at least. So it's always interesting to see when things are in quite such dire need. As you can see, we have the soil mod, the straw mod, doing its thing. That's what that's coming out behind it right there. Again, that is something that you need to have integrated into the map itself. It's not, you can add it after the fact. As far as I know, it's not very difficult. I've never done it personally, but it is possible. So, excellent. So, what we're going to do is let's grab the fent, which I think is right here. Perfect. I'm going to grab the fent, and we're going to grab our Ool manure spreader, and then we're going to go spread some manure on that field that's being harvested right now, because I could use a little bit of manure. Bring up the nutrient level a little bit, and that should help us with our yield as well. What we should do, actually, is as we're driving around here, let's just check on our TMR, or hopefully be TMR. As I mentioned last time, I'm not exactly sure whether it's going to make TMR or not, just because we didn't have quite enough potatoes in the end. So it will be a little frustrating if it's not, but these things happen. There we go. Drop that off there. And let's just go check over here real quick, see what the levels are like. I don't suspect it's fermented. Yeah, 6%, so still got a ways to go yet. Haven't planted anything yet, so it could just progress a day. I think that we only have a little bit left on 4 we could potentially harvest, and that's it, I think. Alright, let's go find the hole. Actually, I know where it is. It's in the cow pasture. Seems like a perfectly logical place to put it, I think. Just because then it's out of the way. So if we go this way, it's probably fine. There we go. Got a big bunch of manure there as well. The one thing I don't like about manure is that you just have to spread so much of it to get some sort of like the amount you have to use on a single field is just ridiculous. And the same thing in real life though too. Oh, maybe it's not here. Where did I put it? It's the same thing in real life, of course. So when you have when you have to spread manure on your field, it's just the amount of manure you have to have is just crazy. I suppose you could spread it thinner. That's not the way I wanted to go at all. You could spread it thinner, and perhaps you would be able to spread all over your field and have enough of it, but hard to say. Now, is it over here, or is it lost somewhere? It's right there. This is actually a Canadian company. I looked it up after the fact to see. They actually make a lot of dairy related. Oh, I have. That's not good. Probably shouldn't have left the slurry in there. They actually produce quite a bit of dairy related equipment, this company. It's not necessarily Ool specifically, it's GEA, Farm Technologies, and they're the ones who produce a lot of the stuff for dairy farming, which is kind of cool. Alright, so that field's been fertilized, so let's go over to the other field that we're currently plowing. And one of the funny things about slurry and with the soil mod is that you actually don't need to cultivate it in. You can if you want to, but you don't need to, which is kind of strange. So I don't know why that's the case, but it definitely made that change. So I know in 2013 you absolutely had to. Yeah, I'm just randomly thinking in my head if there's any new sprayers. There was this is part of the mod contest. So is that's the same thing. Slurry. This was part of the mod contest as well. I believe it was that one at least. And that one's been around for a while now. What else is there? I think there was a couple new tractors. Did I put the Massey Fergusons in here? No, it's not that one. This is what happens when you have too many tractors. You're like, which ones are new? Unless they're drastically different, that's where it becomes hard to decipher which ones are new, which ones aren't. That one's a new one. A little old school 2-wheel tractor. Very cool. This one right here, 8737. $0. Come on. Get with the program, people. And I think, is that one new as well? No. That one was another Romania. Oh, didn't realize there was a Romanian company. And then there's this, these are two are new as well. I feel like that 240 horsepower, that seems a bit overkill. Anyways, there's a few in there. A few different style tractors, which is kind of nice, so. We're bleeding money right now, it's crazy. Oh, that's such a nice indicator. Look at that. Just a nice little, oh, that's really nice. Okay, so. I'm just gonna hop into the truck, which is 9. And I'm gonna set this guy on his way. Sell soybeans. Covers. Oh, you would too, wouldn't you? And there we go. Have him sell that. Let's go back into the Fendt. Alright, let's go over here. We're at... I guess because we have a lot of stuff running at the same time. We have like... What do we have? 3 tractors running there at the same time, so that probably isn't going to help. Alright, now this is supposed to have a larger spread than it actually does. But alright, this way, this, and 0 offset. There we go. It thinks it's 12 meters wide. Looks that way. I don't know if it's the actual... If it actually is 12 meters wide, or if it just looks 12 meters wide. Sometimes it's hard to tell these things. There you go. I think we can put dualies on this tractor. Let's see. Nope. I thought you could, but there probably is a way to do it, but I don't have it set up that way right now. No. Maybe not in this one. On some of the other ones, you can easily do it, but not this one apparently, so... There we go. What if there's a fill indicator on this? I can't remember. Oh, there is, right there. Perfect. So you can actually do this then. If you like. And then you can take out the lines too if you really want. Very nice. I do like this manure spreader. I think this tractor is still too small for it though. I don't know, I'd have to go online and see what size of tractor they actually use in this thing. Like I almost feel as if the case would be the best choice for it because how big it is. Because 36,000 liters is a lot of slurry to be hauling around, and it's not so much the weight per se. Well, it's not so much like how much you can pull. It's more like the weight. So, like if you're pulling this behind a smaller tractor, this trailer is just going to push this trailer or this tractor very easily. So, yes, indeed. Oh, he's actually almost finished his field. Awesome. So what this will do is, if I stop this real quick, take a look. So you should see, so we're at 4 over here. And if I come over here, this should be, it's not going to, right. I always forget, it takes a while. Sometimes it'd be nice to see the effect immediately. But, I suppose that wouldn't be, realistic, I guess, so. It makes sense that it is a delayed thing. So. I like how they try to incorporate different aspects of the soil mod. So like you can do the, you can cultivate the slurry in if you want to, but you don't have to. I think that's really neat. What are we looking at in terms of, what is that? I don't know what, it looked like a huge, like, that must have been the tree shadow that we just drove past. That was really strange. Alright, right at the end there. Let's make a turn. One of the nice things about these smaller tractors, or slightly smaller tractors, this is still like a 400 horsepower tractor, so... one of the nice things about it is that the turning circle on it's really small. So it makes our lives a lot easier. There we go, $37,000 from most soybeans. This is good. It's going to make a big difference. So what we'll do is we'll come back around with the Fent, and we'll just cultivate this slurry in here. You can easily, I don't think I have anything set up, but you could probably easily set up course play to do this. Let's see. Nope. 36,000 liters of soybeans and 48,000 liters of oats. That's not too bad, actually. It's a good little mix. Very cool. I don't know, I like this map. I did look at a new map today. That looks intriguing. Another entrant into the contest. It's an American map. It's called Valley East. I took a look at that. Not too bad, actually. It's not flat. Has some hills. I think in comparison to some of the other maps that are in there, just based on some of the pictures I've seen, I think that I don't think it'll win in terms of the maps, but it's a nice map still. So I might record an episode on that. Peterbilt. Empty. That's fine. There we go. Anyways, folks, what I'll do is I'll let this guy run a little bit longer off camera, and I'll come back when he's done a little bit more. Alright, so we got the case rolling still. Finished harvesting this field here. And let's see what our nutrients levels over here. Yeah. Yep. Definitely need to work on neutralizing that. I got the ool over there working, I guess you would say it as, working away, spreading some manure. Liquid manure, that is. Now, it doesn't take effect yet. I'll have to cultivate it in or something like that. Yeah, that's what I thought. pH is still good though, which is excellent. So what we'll do is so our ideal numbers would be for nitrogen would be X5 and pK would be X4. That's for 100% yield. It does decrease over time as well, so it's always a good idea to adjust it accordingly. Now, we do have a bit of corn left that I just remembered about, and we're going to take care of that right now, because if we look on field number 4, we have a little tiny bit of corn there, so let's go ahead and purchase a header for that. We have the New Holland, so we can get this guy, which we can't exactly afford, which is kind of funny. 16 rows. We got the 12 row one, but that one doesn't. This one folds up, but that one doesn't. Don't know why. So what we'll do is we'll get the truck to go for one more run, which is this guy right here, and we will put some barley in here, not barley, oats, and then he'll go on his way. Perfect. Wait for that to do its thing, and like I said, what we'll do is we'll have to harvest the rest of that corn there. So I'll have to let that truck do a run, and I'll be back in a moment. Alright, got the header now. Just purchased it, and we're going to go ahead and finish off this last little bit here. No, we need the case. And we'll grab the case and bring that over as well. And we'll just harvest this last little bit of corn here. Remember, that's the corn we were using for the silage, for the bunker right there. But as you recall, wasn't necessary in the end. Well, not all of it was necessary, at least, so. Alright. That's number 4. Here we go. And have them set to the New Holland. Here we go. And let's fire this guy up. And finish this up. And that is the chopped straw mod, I believe. I think that's the right one, at least. I don't know, I forget. I think that's the same mod, if memory serves. It's been a while since I've used, since I've actually done corn. But what will happen is, if you harvest the corn and then cultivate it or plow it, I guess, same idea as the straw. I believe the same thing happens, but I just don't know if the actual numbers are different or not. I think they are. By how much? Can't remember. So I think it's actually, I want to say it's a bit more for some reason. I don't know why though. Here we go. Turn around. And it's funny, if you look carefully, it's actually only based on the header, not necessarily the spray that comes out of the back. So watch carefully. So normally, if I start right here, it would be going out of the back as chaff, but it's only where the header goes is where the chopped corn stalks actually fall, which is kind of strange. Don't know why they did it that way, but it's probably one of the only ways they could get it done, because of course Giants has sometimes they do some funny things like that, so whatever it happens to be, that's the reason why usually. So that's what the modders tend to do, at least. They tend to work around what Giants does, because what Giants puts out doesn't necessarily always work as nicely as we would like. That's the way it works, though. The header out there, or the auger out. Yeah, see, normally when I did this turn right here, you'll see a big spray of corn stalks as well. But because the way they've done this, it doesn't do that, so. Not getting a bad little yield from this little tiny section here, though. Getting, well, not too bad. Probably would be a lot better if the soil was a bit better managed, I think. Again, that's probably because I switched the map and switched it back by accident. Well, what happened was I think I installed like a newer version because I was taking maps out and putting it in. Because usually what I'll do is I only try to keep one soil mod map in my mods folder, because whatever happens, for whatever reason, if you have multiple soil mod, like the States is bad for this, it seems like. If I have the States version 6 and this one of them is going to screw up usually. So I find as the map gets more complex with soil mod, chop straw mod, all those things, things tend to start to mess up a little bit more, I've discovered. So and that's one of the reasons why I tend to only keep one soil mod map in my folder. Otherwise you'll run into other problems. So, but like I said, it's probably different for every map. Like I for example, I can have multiple maps without soil mod, and it's not a problem. They all seem to play nice together for the most part. But as soon as I have had 2 maps that have the soil mod, for some reason it just doesn't work well. So, and sometimes it does, of course. You know, everyone has a different experience with it. So, to each their own is the expression I would use. Excellent. This is gonna take maybe 1-2 more passes. If I weren't being so inefficient with the header here, I probably could do it in 1 pass, but knowing me, I'll have to do it in 2. But this is an example of what happens when you leave a field fallow for a while. You just get weeds all up in it. Although the funny thing is, watch this. If I go over with the header down, it should make the weeds disappear. Yeah, see? Kind of funny. That's just due to the way the soil model works, though. It's not because it's cultivated. I think technically it's considered cultivating the ground. I think that's the reason why it's able to do that. I can't remember. I think that's the reason, though. Can't remember 100% if that is indeed the exact reason, but I think it plays into it for some reason. So there we go. Perfect. Last little pass here. If only it was always this quick to harvest a field. Depending on which map you're playing on, some fields will take, you know, in real life time, hours. Other times it takes, you know, minutes. It really depends. And sometimes you can only do one thing at a time. So like when you're starting out in a new map, for example, and you don't have very big equipment, you can basically only harvest, and that's it, which can be painful sometimes. Not like physically painful, but just, you know, you have to wait for it to finish before you can do something else. That's what I'm getting at. Perfect. Let's request a driver. For those people who don't know, I live off a main road. That's why we end up hearing. Emergency medical services personnel drive by from time to time. Always fun. It's not too bad. We got 6,000 liters from that. Not too bad considering it's such a small little parsec, or whatever you want to call it. It's very good. Peterbilt. That's okay, you can stop there. He's almost finished. This is good. He's still working away. Perfect. Excellent. Alright, so what I'll do is I'll leave it there for the time being, folks. Let everything finish up a little bit there, and we'll come back next episode, and I think we might plant something else. So let me know what you'd like to see on this map, and we'll go from there. So until next time, folks, this has been Farming Simulator 2015. My name's Iain Robson, and this has been Manchester. And if you enjoyed yourself, why don't you go ahead and hit that share button? I really appreciate that. Catch you guys later.